Today is August 27th, 2022. This is episode 204 of Maelstrom Radio.
Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Bleats and Shitter.
And welcome everybody to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Peter. With me, as always, is my good friend and co-host Quinton, which did not hear the. You all heard the intro, but they didn't hear the intro. I forgot that Windows did an update like 2 weeks ago, and then it messed with all my audio settings. But the one I forgot, the only one I forgot was the one.
It was weird. Usually I get the double echoes because I listened to the stream to make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
And the stream started playing, but I didn't hear on our side. So it was kind of.
Yeah. Well, which makes me wonder. I now am curious if I do this.
Oh, we can hear that.
I can hear that. Yeah.
We can hear burger nuggets. Okay, then I got.
Nuggets.
Well, then I have to know if you can. You can hear nuggets and burger. Okay. All right. Good. With us for a very awkward intro.
Oh.
Switch.
Fine.
Hi. How are you?
No.
I'm very well, thank you. I'm loving the levels of chaos that are happening on today's stream.
Oh, well.
To be fair, there is more cursed chaos going behind the scenes today than there are in most ever. I don't think we've ever had that much cursed content before stream.
Yeah, I don't know what's. Is it me? Am I the influence? Am I the one that's brought out this weird kind of like creepy GIF shenanigans that's going on, or is it just? Is this built up over a week or so?
It's
Susan started this, honestly.
6 years of Maelstrom.
And that was
Chad,
the day she releases.
I'm putting Susan's message into the Twitch chat because she sent this on Twitter. And then I said no, and then she sent it back again, and I said no again.
Yeah.
And then we started sending increasingly cursed things to each other.
Yeah, listen, you're safe. You're in Bastock.
It's true. I am in Bastock. I am the most safe right now. Different world altogether.
Yeah, nobody can hurt me in my special place, which happens to be Bastock.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Welcome to the chaos that is Maelstrom Radio. Switch.
I love this. I live for this level of chaos. This is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Oh man.
Yeah, you should have been here when I fought a brain fetus in Kirby.
Oh, that was also cursed.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new Kirby game on Switch, one of the bosses is basically brain fetus.
It took a hard left dark turn at the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
And here's me thinking Kirby was like this, nice, fluffy, floaty kind of game that's nice and cutesy. Like, when did it have a bit of a Dark Souls kind of turn to it? Like,
I don't know.
The last few bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirby's Dreamland ends up going a bit nightmarish.
Chili just like middle schooled himself with Bastock is last stock. Always support Winders.
Oh, me and Chili are gonna fall out. Chili, I love you, but at the same time, like, don't diss my Bastock. Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Chili's gonna show up into a fight with cat ears and a hentai mask. So, by the way, go follow Middle Ground Radio.
Oh no, he's tweeting that on his personal account.
Oh, I know, but
still, at the same time, the amount of time, and I have to apologize now that I'm here and I've got you both. I have to apologize for every single time I get raided, by you guys, and I go, yeah, thanks, Moogle Ground Radio. And oh no, I've done it again. It's just so many radios, so many M's. So I'm genuinely sorry. I don't mean to. It just kind of happens. So
they're the G.
Yeah, they like fluffy white, floaty, deep, like winged. I guess I don't know. No, they're not void scent. So they like palm boys.
Fairies?
I guess.
Are they? I think they're fairies, aren't they?
Maybe. They like floating cat puppies with palms on their heads.
Bats, cat, puppies.
Yeah.
That sounds like that skin in Guild Wars I want to get.
Yeah.
Which isn't in the shop anymore. I didn't get it.
But
next time.
Easy way to remember
I was waiting for my gems.
We're Pirate Radio. We're just
Pirate Radio. Yeah, no, Pirate Radio.
Yeah, we're the pirates.
Yeah.
They're the fluff, we're the pirates. Although if you actually look at our content, we're probably more fluff and they're probably more piratey. But
yeah, true.
I don't know.
They have the cursing down.
We're all about booty here, I think.
Paul does.
No?
Can't stop the booty.
Yeah.
Can't stop the booty.
Booty too strong.
Yeah, if you're in any of the discords with Chili, he's been posting Kitty Chili lately.
And Mr. Blobby, weirdly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh, so that's a whole thing. If you missed it,
yeah.
We found Mr. Blobby, and then Peter made an emote. So one of our Discord emotes is Mr. Blobby, and then Tibiant of all people keeps posting more and more cursed Mr. Blobby stuff. And it's just normal Mr. Blobby stuff, but the more that you see it, the more cursed it is.
Honestly, like as a young person growing up in the UK, watching growing up with Mr. Blobby, on what was Noel's house party, was like I wasn't particularly traumatized, but I knew people that were. And if you've ever seen the Big Fat Quiz of the Year, and that might have been a clip actually that was posted in the Whiskers Discord. It is one of there's someone who has a very visceral reaction to Mr. Blobby turning up on set to the point where they are literally trying to climb over the other guests to get away. It's beautiful, and everybody should go and check it out because it is.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like television history. It's
so good.
It's Mr. Blobby Unchained.
The sound Mr. Blobby makes is not of this world. It's just
Yep. It's just terror. It's just it's pure fear for youngins, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know why somebody was like, you know what? I have an idea for a cartoon, a character for children. Go ahead.
Flam just said it was designed as a prank, but supposed to be a horrific children's character that scares the children. But the kids liked him and the parents hated him, so he stayed.
Yeah, boy.
And honestly, that's completely what I expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a UK #1 as well. Believe it or not, I think it was possibly a Christmas #1. Yeah,
was it? Yeah, it was the Christmas one. Yeah,
yeah, it was around that time.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's terror. Just you have to wonder when people are designing characters and whatnot. What is going through their minds when they come up with that kind of demon?
What I imagine it to be
just had the anthropomorphic animals.
Yeah,
that's the safe option.
Like the Muppets and Fraggle Rock, and
I love the Muppets and Fraggle Rock.
Yeah. See, to me, it's like
the US just went the whole furry route, and the UK went just like
yellow and pink blob demon.
No, to me, somebody was just just put down the complete works of Lovecraft and was like, I have an idea for a children's show.
No, see, Lovecraft would be better than this because at least Lovecraft, Eldritch Horror is
yeah. Sell me on Eldritch Horror for children, please.
Eldritch Horror Light.
Yeah.
Plam's right. UK went full alternate timeline, drug-fueled psychosis.
Yeah, perfect.
There are versions of the Teletubbies, which are very, very dark. People have edited that into some sort of black and white horror shenanigans. Oh, it's seriously the UK's messed up. Just in terms of creativity, there are some gems. There are some absolute gems with things like Doctor Who and other bits and bobs like that. But then you get Mr. Blobby, the Teletubbies, and
there's a give and a take. There's a give,
yeah, exactly.
It ebbs and flows.
Here's this super amazing thing. Here's Mr. Blobby.
Yeah.
No.
So now that we've traumatized everybody, hi Switch, welcome in. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Amazing. Hi, hello there. I'm Switch2501. I'm a Final Fantasy 14 content creator. And proud member of Team Whiskers, and yeah, it's nice to be here on Maelstrom Radio. Definitely not Moogle Around Radio. I had to double check in my head that I got it the right way around then, and I'll stop. But yeah, it's lovely to be here, and yeah, I do some streamings on Twitch and stuff, mostly 14. Yes.
Chat just
Welcome
going
in.
off the wall.
Why is chat going off the wall? Have they gone?
They're like Pingu. Like this is like weird like children's show Pokemon at this point. They just like I like Pingu. I choose you.
Are they trying to one up each other with? Oh no, it's Plam. It's all Plam's fault. It's all Plam's fault.
Sorry,
She's
my fault.
unleashed children's TV on chat, and now that's where we're going.
That's fine. I can't wait for somebody to make this game as like children's like entertainment Pokemon
They
when they have to
kinda-
battle.
They kind of did with it's the DC Smash Bros
Multiverses?
game. Yeah, multiverses where you've got like
Multiverses,
Scooby
yeah.
and Shaggy versus
Yeah.
like everybody.
Oh, you know what's
Not
funny?
like
I got
Bananas in
confused with that game. I would love to see Bananas in Pajamas show up in Rumbleverse. As like the ice climbers, like there's two of them.
Yeah,
No, that'd be Pingu
Oh no.
their finisher would be literally like yeeting somebody down the stairs. Probably in
Yes.
pairs. It has to be in pairs.
with a banana peel somewhere.
Yeah.
So I learned of a game called Rumbleverse, not which I thought I got confused with multiverses because then I was listening to shout out to Kami J for the weekly cooldown because he was explaining Rumbleverses and he was like, yeah, it's like this cartoon to his guest. He was like, oh, it's this cartoon game where it's a battle royale and you're fighting each other. I'm like, isn't that the one with Batman? What is he talking about? And then I looked it up. I'm like, no, it's a battle royale where there's no guns. It's all wrestling moves. And I was like, that is amazing. And you're like in like cartoon chicken suits and stuff. I'm like, I gotta play this game. Like sounds delightful.
Awesome.
Yeah, right? You're like, oh yeah, you're pile driving people. I'm like, that's amazing.
In a banana suit.
Yeah, but with like googly eyes.
So like the peanut butter jelly time one?
Yeah, a little bit,
That's
yeah.
amazing. Can we
Just
get on
like
this,
that.
please?
Yeah, yes, we can. We should.
There's a Team Whiskers night, session right there.
Yeah.
Team Whiskers Battle Royale. Everyone like bananas, chicken
Yeah.
suits.
Just like a half belly to belly suplex.
Yeah.
Take that, Mioni.
I think you might need a goose.
I would need a goose. I would
goose.
definitely need a goose. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a goose. This is my goose. I have a spare goose.
Oh yeah, so we have our show. You have more desk smalls.
Yes. My
We like to do this segment that Susan has created on our show because she mentioned it once and then it became a thing. But,
always
yeah, if you have
the best ideas always come out of like random things, and then they just kind of evolve and grow.
yeah, also from Susan.
Yeah, show us your smalls.
Susan just
Show us your
show us your
smalls.
smalls.
Show us your
there
smalls.
you go. So yeah, if you have anything that you want to show off, fancy stuff on your desk or wherever you currently are located.
So yeah, I've got a goose. This was a gift by another streamer. They sent me a goose one Christmas. The goose is the representation of chaos, as many will have played the Untitled Goose game, and the chaos that creature can bring. And I like to bring the chaotic goose energy into streams, usually by descending on poor hapless streamers and be like, "Haha, have a raid," and then unleashing many geese and honking at them, nicely, to brighten their day. So yeah, this is my goose. It doesn't have a name, so if chat want to name the goose, they can do. But yeah, and I've got other small toys and things like here. Like I have a red panda. This is a redeem on my channel. People can redeem it, so he sits on my head during stream like this. I'll just happily sit there for the day. And then we've also got
your goose.
we have the mascot with of course of Toast, the fat cat who looks quite demonic in
Demon cat
in this lighting. So he's there he is. He's just being all amazing and cat-like. So yeah, there's some of the critters that I've got around on my desk. So yeah,
awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Goosebert.
Goosebert. Oh, I like Goosebert. Bernard the goose.
Yeah.
Bernard the goose.
Goosebert.
You know what you really should call the goose?
Go on.
Rigged.
Rigged.
Yep.
Rigged
the goose.
That's not a bad shout, actually. That's not a bad shout. Rigged. Not rigged. It's not rigged.
Rigged.
It's never rigged. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not rigged.
Rigged, and it just honks. Rigged. Honk.
Yes, true.
Rigged and not rigged.
Rigged, not rigged.
Rigged or not rigged.
Yeah.
That is the goose.
You get like a duck small, and that's not rigged. Well,
piece of string tied up. That's not rigged.
Not rigged.
I'm now thinking of like marionette style goose now that I'm gonna have to like I don't know engineer.
Great.
For stream, like this one is rigged. Look at it.
What happened after Maelstrom Radio? Well, Switch got puppetry.
Switch ended up with like sticky back plastic, yogurt pots, super glue. It was an entire mess.
One you make like a nice goose that you can like marionette, and the other one you just do it, but like it's a mess of like all tangled things. You have rigged and not rigged.
Rigid. Oh, that's genius. I love this.
Has anyone here seen the YouTube of Barnaby Dixon? He's a puppeteer who creates puppets that are solely used by one hand. So they're all like puppets that are attached to his one hand. And he has one that it's a dab chick, and it's a little baby chick, and it's hilarious. Like it's so great. Please go like please.
Okay.
Dab chick is so good. And Barnaby Dixon's like been showed up to like go talk about like his puppetry with like like various conventions and stuff, because he's very young, and when he started to get in puppetry and like how he does movements are very fluid. He's created like puppetry fish that move naturally with just one hand.
Cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's pretty cool. And he started like messing with like screens and putting screens in puppets so he can like put his mouth on a puppet. So he's got like a camera that goes over. He's doing like next level puppetry stuff. And he was inspired by like Jim Henson and stuff like that, and getting and then figured out like he would love to do like, I want to do puppetry, but like also hold a camera on YouTube. Like, how do you do that and make it fluid and move? So great stuff. Go watch Barnaby Dixon on. I'll link it in our Discord.
Yeah, I need to go and check that.
It's you lost me at mouth to puppet.
No, Barnaby Dixon. The dab chick stuff is fantastic. It's so good. Like I will suggest anybody. And then he's got a derpy raptor that is like it's the cutest thing. It's like the raptor's just empty head, no thoughts. It's so good. So good. Other than watching one-handed puppetry, what have we been playing lately? Switch, what have you been playing lately?
Me?
Yeah, I'll start with you.
I dived very much straight into 14 with the 6.2 patch. I won't spoil stuff because I know people haven't played through stuff. In fact, it was a weird patch for me, this one, because it was the first one that I didn't do the MSQ first. I think every single patch that has come out since 2.0, I've always done the MSQ because like obviously there's stuff to unlock, and no, this time not at all. This time we hit the raid series first to see what the new Savage might have in store for us when that releases next week.
It looks exciting.
Then there's this kind of long blank period throughout the week till about this morning where I think at some point I was on an island, and then it was Saturday, and then the MSQ got done. So yeah, that's pretty much been what I've been playing this week.
I had a fever dream.
Did you wake up near a volleyball anywhere?
No, there wasn't. They missed a trick on that one. Is there a beach ball minion? That needs to be a thing.
I wish.
There is a melon.
There is a melon.
Man, use the melon.
We could do the melon.
I haven't put the melon out.
Little lava hand on it.
Should drop the melon out.
Yeah. I've got a small smattering of minions over the island. But yeah, but like bizarrely as well, because I've not gone like ham on the Island Sanctuary. I know there are people who've like reached rank 10 now already, and they've like really gone Mioni, who have really gone in for it, which is awesome. And I love that people have dived into it. And I'm like, there's me with my rank 5 island, and my mammets are really lazy, and I don't have any calories, and I can't things. So yeah, I'll work it out at some point. I'm just enjoying like exploring and finding new things to dig up and stuff like that. So yeah, and obviously
fun.
the less fun thing is obviously with this patch was the new recipes, and I have destroyed probably somewhere in the region of 10 million gills worth of materia trying to pentameld my tools, and it's that hurts a lot. It's bad. It's real bad. It's just so I go back to the island to numb the pain.
See, that's why they did it. that you could like spend a week relaxing on your island and forget about all of the money that you've lost and the material you've destroyed.
Yep, it's
Before
literally
you get
just
into.
gone poof.
Well, it's nice that you had a week of relaxing before you go into Savage, and it's even worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Based on some of the regular normal fights, the end of this tier of Savage is not going to be fun.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be.
No, yeah, it'll be fun. It's just like how much pain is there gonna be in the overall scheme of things.
Really, this Savage fight all the fights should be like, well, what level of where's the safe word on each fight?
To be fair, none of the fights in this tier look to be worse than P3. Yes,
I didn't get through P3S.
Like all of them, none of them seem like they're going to be worse than P3S because P3S had a lot of issues going with it, but also was just really hard to see everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So like everything in this tier seems much better in that regard.
I've got a feeling that P7
is
probably going to be the one that's
going to be the breaker.
Yeah. Just looking at the way that fight is set up and how things happen on it. Yeah, that fills me with fear, I think.
I did notice with the last with no spoilers of course, but like with this last set of raids, a lot of movement, like a lot of it, and not that they didn't have movement in the last 4, but they ramped that movement.
Not really.
The 3 didn't have a lot of movement. Three just had a lot of like I can't see the floor. I can't see the floor. I can't see the
I hope you like looking at orange AoE markers on orange floor. That's
you don't have to move if you can't see it.
Exactly. Black mage mentality. That is
yeah, everyone's 100%. The black mage there.
Yep.
Black mage is casting fire. Like there's fire everywhere.
It's just, yeah. No idea what's going on in this fight. Oh, I'm pressing buttons, but it could be doing anything. So
I keep taking damage, but I don't know where it's from. Is it me? Am I the fire?
I did the last raid here with I think we got to P2S and it was due to another streamer and Best Wife Plan really. I got dragged into. I was keen to do Savage, didn't have a group, so towards the end of the last patch, managed to jump in with another streamer and they'd done P1 and P2S, but were taking other people through it. But they were doing it in the style of like a learning party. So it's like they would always ask, the newer players, like, what do you think this mechanic's for, and all that sort of stuff. And I found that a really rewarding experience. And I thought, first Savage tier that I've done properly since Binding Coil. And that's the last time I did it when it was current content. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to do it on Black Mage because I apparently hate myself. I learned a lot about Black Mage, and you can see why. I understand why, like Yoshi P is like obviously mad keen on that as a job, and that the fights are bizarrely optimized for Black Mages as well. I didn't realize it was going to be as smooth as it ended up being. The worst bit, I think, for the raid leader, Big Milky, was the guy who was doing it. Was it during P2S. Where you have to stack up, and he would be shouting, doing the call outs and everything, and be going, right, everybody move, everyone move, everyone move, and at the last second I'd press ethereal manipulation and then just teleport to my healer buddy, and you could hear the stress you could hear his soul leave his body every single time, like the mechanics were coming along, because he thought, oh, you're so dead, is it going to wreck the raid? I'm like, ha, see ya. It was beautiful. Just the amount of mobility and stuff that Black Mage gets these days is just, it's a lot of fun. And if people haven't tried doing raids and end game content on Black Mage, like, I highly advise it. It's really good.
I'm waiting, and now I wonder if this will inspire Chili.
Well, mate, I hope so.
Yeah.
This was the first tier that Peter and I rated as well in Savage.
Oh, really?
I believe.
Cool.
I've rated it a lot in other games, but this is the first one in Final Fantasy that we did. We cleared P1S, and then our static kind of broke apart before we cleared P2S. We were really close. I think we got to win a rage, or close to a rage, at least on P2S. We definitely could have cleared it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun for all those. Like I'm really interested to see a lot of the mechanics for some of the.
Yeah,
I'm really interested to see the mechanics for P7S.
Yes.
Yes. That's gonna be
Yeah.
That'll be the breaking raid for this tier.
Mm-hmm. So what was the third one? It's the one in the middle.
Yeah. Well, because the first one kind of introduces you.
Yeah, it's like
the second one kind of gives you a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Third ruins you, and the fourth one is a reward for getting through the third.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the fourth one's like, also, there's a surprise.
By the way,
here's
the face change.
Yeah.
Here's the Latin music. Here's phase 3.
Yeah.
Here's here's the extra form. Yeah, you've 20 minutes into the fight. Yeah. Here's phase 5, and now we're into the full orchestral choir stuff, and you know you're in trouble. Yeah.
But don't worry, there's a massive heal check to go to the next phase, and if you fail it, you have to start over again.
Yeah.
But if you get through it, then you have to do the massive DPS check.
Yeah.
And after all that, make sure your tank is an LB3, because if you don't, you're gonna wipe anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Can I say though, I was pretty surprised. I remember when they showed off the gear for the raids, it was like, oh, that's all, and everyone was like, that's savage gear, and I was like, oh, and then I saw like people running around with them, like, whoa,
hold up,
I can just get that right now. Well, fantastic! I'm gonna look cool.
I think that was probably one of the big things from like last time around is like if you didn't manage to get through the savage or find yourself a group, and suddenly there's people walking around with the fancy schmancy weapons after obviously like working hard for it and stuff. It's like I'm never gonna get those. There's not many cool kind of fancy glowy options. There's a few in game. There's some level 50 ones that have got like this weird kind of band around them, and there's a caster skull that's got like the flames on it, which was the design contest one. But apart from that, there's not many, and it's just
that's very limited. And 50 really was. It was a Realm Reborn. We talked about this last night. Like a Realm Reborn really was the last time I did any sort of like glow on some armor.
Yeah.
And then like everybody's like,
the
and the weapons.
The weapons. But I think they should do it more often. I think it's something that
well, like, I don't think they should do it more often.
Well, I don't think for everything. I don't
not like every patch.
You go to like Warcraft as the main example. And everyone you see there that is actually leveled up is in full like massive shoulders and glowing everything, and like everyone just looks like they're super tricked out, and that's gonna get really like it loses its meaning a little bit when everyone looks that way. But if you put it out like once a patch cycle or once an expansion cycle, like it's a little bit more meaningful.
Yeah. Well, I think WoW, and not to dive too deep, I know the one thing with Warcraft though is that they have multiple raid. Like it's not just one raid series; it is multiple raids. So they do like change how that entire like this raid has entirely different armor set and how it looks. So it's not like okay, because sometimes they do like step away from like you'll get like I don't want to say average looking gear. Like it won't be as glowy or it won't be as giant. It'll be like your standard and be like okay, neat, and then. And then always one class will get to be like, ooh, that's the special class.
Got the fancy one.
Yeah, everyone got fancy. So, well, we've been doing the same. Mostly. Well, there's been some Guild Wars 2 play as well.
Yeah,
and myself.
Yeah, I've been diving a lot into Guild Wars 2. I am just over 60 now, so that's over 30 levels in the last week.
Ooh.
Experience gain has gone way. It's wild now. And I have a lot of experience boosts. So I mean, I'm trying to get through the story fast because I've done this before. This is an alt that I'm leveling up, or new main rather. So that's been a lot of fun. I kind of did something similar to you. Like I did dive into the MSQ of 14 when it came out. Got up to the dungeon, and then I swapped over, did a little bit of the Island Sanctuary stuff. Went back, got up to the trial, which is where I am currently sitting because my Final Fantasy 14 team has not decided to do the trial since. But instead we decided that we were going to swap in and do the raids last night. I say Final Fantasy 14 team, it's Susan and Peter.
Hi.
But the three of us run through the content together. So
cool.
Yeah, we ran through the raids last night. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Susan died a lot. Peter was basically not alive for the whole fight of 7.
I said it in chat. I had really unfortunate raises. Like I was because I don't know. I just saw the fight for the first time, so I'm like, raise now, and then all of a sudden the floor disappeared. I'm like, no, I just died again, and then I raised, and then like an arm came through and hit me. I'm like, no. I felt so bad for that healer. They kept raising me. I'm like, just leave me alone.
Yeah, we had one MVP healer who just like eventually, partway through the fight, they did an LB3 raise and it saved us all. Like that healer got my comm. That's no mouth lemons. No mouth lemons.
That's right. Mouth lemons.
No. Already seen some of the curse stuff you're putting into stuff, Susan. Please stop. For my sanity.
Yeah, but wait, you know what the mouth lemons are, though, right?
Well, if it's anything to do with a Kirby thing from before, then I don't want to see it.
No.
No.
Do you remember P7?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mouth lemons. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Mouth
lemons.
lemons. It makes sense now.
Yeah, mouth lemons.
Yeah, they're there. That wasn't on us.
That was on me.
That was on you, actually. But no, that's on Square. They put mouth lemons in the fight.
Mouth lemons.
We zoned in, and I'm like, there's this big thing in the middle of it, and Peter's just like, mouth lemons. I'm like, what? Looked around like, God damn it, Peter.
Ruined forever now, mouth lemons.
Yeah. They gave me the gift. They let me name it. That's the...
So now when the phase comes when they're relevant in the fight, because I'm not trying to spoil this, that's what it's called now, mouth lemons.
Mouth lemons.
There you go. Mouth lemons.
But yeah, and I think I'm going to actually be switching to a different game tomorrow for Coffee, Cass, and Chat because Cass is out this weekend.
Oh, no.
So since they're not here, I'm going to switch to a different game, I believe.
What are you going to play instead?
I'm thinking of playing Coffee Talk, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's a story-driven indie game.
Right.
We were going through Steam Discovery Queue one day, and we saw this one, and it was also in like our like indie story game, our cozy game research we did for a bonus episode last week. I think it came out last week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it came out as like this really super cozy story kind of game. So yeah, I'm gonna try playing through it tomorrow.
Cool.
It's really short. It's supposed to only be like 2 or 3 hours, so I should be able to do it within my normal time. And yeah, I've heard it's really good.
Oh, cool.
You also can draw latte art in the game, but I don't know how I'm going to do that with a mouse, so it's going to turn out really bad.
Carefully. Probably.
Yes.
Maybe it's forgiving. Like maybe it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, you draw the art, and it's like, all right, it's pretty good, and like kind of evens it out for you.
It just fixes it.
Yeah, it's like
I have no idea. We'll find out tomorrow.
Or it's not good. It's just never good.
So, yeah, well, we'll get that.
It looks like a leaf.
Oh, at one point I did also pop into Plam's stream earlier this week and became a cultist.
Yeah, the cult of the Plam. Yes,
the cult of the Plam.
Cult of the Plam. Cult of the Lamb is a really, really fun like community game, I guess, in a weird way. It's that roguelike kind of element to it. It's got some base building, and then obviously you put Best Wife Plam in the driver's seat, and then you get extra
everyone almost dies.
And I think it's a really interesting game in itself, but then having that interaction between Twitch chat with the integration so that you can fight each other to try and become a cult member, or you can help and hinder the player as well, which is it just brings a whole new kind of community level to Twitch in a way, and I think that's really good. I think the integration's amazing for what it does. I quite like trying to cause Plam problems because it's funnier, but she will plead with chat to be like, oh, please be nice to me, please just feed my followers, it'll be great. And then like I'm there.
I think that the anti one was broken when I was watching the stream.
Yeah,
so I only had the option for like supporting, which I did. I used all my channel points, but yeah,
you're too nice.
Well,
I didn't have an option. If I had an option to cause chaos, I would be causing chaos there.
Yes,
well,
yes.
Don't worry, because guess what? As a perfect segue, I finished Stray this week, which lovely game. Please go play Stray. It's so good.
Do you want to go play that?
It's such a good game.
So, yeah, Stray is really good. We both have.
Yeah, like I would on the scale of Maelstrom Radio, it's a please go out and play it. Like just if you have the chance to go play it, please go play Stray. It's truly a great game. The storytelling's done really well. Yeah, it's a short game. You can it's just go out and play. It's worth your time.
I'm gonna go pick that up, I think.
Yeah, you should truly like. It's just like it doesn't overstay its welcome. The puzzles are great. It's a nice game, and also get to be a cat. So
Best Wife Flam says, "Sell me on it. I still have a gaming hole in my heart." Well, first off, you get to be a cat.
Yeah, first of all, cat.
do we need to sell more?
I mean,
you get to be a cat. If
good
you
bean robots.
Eventually you get a backpack on it, and you know how when you put things on cats, like a harness or anything, they just like fall over immediately. Like I can't do anything. That cat does that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't walk around a little bit. You do get to push stuff off shelves. It's actually a game mechanic.
Amazing.
You can actually interrupt people's games. Like there's like they're playing a board game somewhere. You can jump on it and mess it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, amazing.
You have to scratch everything.
Yeah, you can do 100% all the cat stuff. Yeah, you can do 100% cat stuff. Anything a cat can do, you can do. Short
all
of
your friends that you meet in the game, like all the things that you meet in the game, are robots, and they're really chill. Yeah, you actually get to you get to define music so that a robot can play music, and it's mostly good music. There's also places you can sleep where your cat literally just curls up into a ball and sleeps. There's also an achievement for sleeping for 1 hour.
Like in one go, or or like over the course of the game? Oh, okay.
As long as you sleep for 1 hour. Now, you wouldn't normally do this in the game because like the game's only 6 hours long, but you can just sleep in a ball and like leave it in AFK if you wanted to.
And it pans the camera out, and it really just plays whatever background, and the music's very chill in the game too.
Yep.
So it like really just becomes like a very like chill, like, you know.
There are some horrific elements.
Yeah.
Not like closer to jump scare, not like no animals are harmed in this game.
Cool.
Maybe a little hurt, but not like nothing bad. Animals are not dying in this game. It's good. It's a cozy game. It's a warming game.
Yeah.
Also,
we're not talking gore kind of things like scares. Right. We're talking like just like this was a bit distressing. Yeah.
Think like Alien. Like the movie Alien franchise. Not
okay.
That's probably about this level of horror scaring.
Yeah, it's not the thing. It's
yeah, no, it's not the thing. And then the last thing that's really important is you have a button dedicated on your controller, of course, to jumping because you're a cat, but also you have a button dedicated to meowing.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Meow.
And it's a very varied meow.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's not just like meow. It's like actual cat noises, not like game cat noises.
Yeah, there's even one that's like a small like click. It's like just like a small like whoa, okay. Like they really want the game. Like it's not just like just say meow over and over again. They with the full gambit.
And you'll have feels.
Meows.
Oh.
Yeah, you
get feels in the game.
Great game.
It's a good game.
Love it.
Very much the opposite of Cult of Lamb.
We should definitely have some sound alerts of you two just meowing as well. At least during that entire thing, you both at least once meowed. So
perfect.
Like I think we need those now. They need to be a thing.
We can send them to Chili.
Yeah.
He could use them for his cat ear stream.
Amazing.
But yeah, anyways, Cult of the Lamb, complete opposite vibes.
Yes, completely opposite.
Peter's planning on playing that.
Yeah, that starts on Monday. So finally, after 6 years, Maelstrom Radio is not a cult. It's finally a cult.
No, it's still not a cult. I think we need to call it.
Yeah, it's still not a cult. Not a cult.
Still not a cult.
It's still not a cult.
Yeah.
I'm playing Outer Wilds off stream slowly, but I have to finish that still.
Yeah, this is the one.
I played a few
game
hours.
that has that Plam has had a life-changing experience with, and having watched her play it, I now can't because it's that level of like the level of discovery that you go through in that game. You can only discover things once, and then once you have, you can't go back and unknow it. Which I know sounds ridiculous, but it's one of those games that's just an amazing experience, and it's an experience of kind of exploring for the sake of exploring, and a bit of existential crisis and a bit of existential dread, I suppose, that you kind of overcome in it. It's one of those kind of games. I won't go into it, but
it's also a roguelite.
Yeah,
like in that vein.
Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds isn't. No.
Is it?
Outer Worlds
I mean,
might be. Which is the other game that came out in the same year with a similar name. Yeah. Outer Wilds.
What I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Outer Wilds is a game where you play a space alien who likes a banjo, and there's a lot of like banjo music in it.
No, wait, no, I'm thinking of Outer Wilds.
Oh yeah, it's not roguelike. It's not.
It's time loop. That's more what I'm thinking. Like you die and then it resets, but you keep playing the same thing again and again and learning new things each time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But it's very, very good. It's honestly, I can't talk to Plan about new games because you're like, is it like Outer Wilds? Is it like? I just try to find other games that will scratch that itch. And people said like Subnautica and things, but it's really not the same same sort of thing. So it's like
someone's being evil with that one.
Yeah. Do you like sharks and krakens?
Do you like the dark depths of the ocean?
Dark depths of your soul.
You stare into the depths of the ocean, your soul stares back. But yeah, it's ruined. It has ruined games for Blesser now. I mean, in the minute she's like all of us here have at some point found their way onto their Island Sanctuary, and now it's all become about catching sheep and or crocodiles and having them in the same pen. Because what could go wrong?
Let's be realistic. It's not about catching the animals. It's about naming the animals.
Yes, I did notice. Was it you that had named yours today? Can't remember. Who did I see that had named their animal? Oh, no, it was Husky. Husky put a tweet up saying they'd named their lemurs Alice and Alphino. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's appropriate.
Yeah, it's fair.
No, we actually had a tweet out earlier that Peter, I think, tweeted out asking about different people's animal names. So tell us your animal names, because we all have very different ways of naming animals. Chili just gives them like weird like names, like Reginald and.
What's wrong with Reginald?
Wait, what was?
That's not weird.
Like, not names you typically hear or would give to an animal.
Okay,
He gives them people names.
I would definitely call one Steve, for example, or maybe Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a completely acceptable name for an animal on the.
I mean, I named. He gives his animals names of gentlemen at a pub. There you go. Susan gives her animals weird names.
Yep.
Okay.
Like Squonk.
Squonk.
Peter gives his animals really weird names, like weirder than Susan's.
Yeah.
Like,
my sheep is now Bleats by Dre.
Yeah, Bleats by Dre is a good one.
Bleats by Dre. That is center mass genius. That is. I love that.
Peter's names are like 50-50. Like they can go both ways. Like they can be really good like that, or they can be really, really bad as well.
Like Bingus.
Yeah, like Bingus.
Bingus is another good name.
Yeah, so there, Chili. I was trying to think of those. Chili has Sean and not Sean.
I do like Sean, and then not Sean.
Yeah, but that's a good. They're good sheep names, surely. Sean, not Sean. That's got to be done.
Sheep.
That's like Chili has a favorite sheep.
They're not.
Probably not his sheep.
One's the alligator, the other one's like a chocobo or something. Just a plucked chocobo. I've not got around to naming my my animals yet because I didn't realize I could. And then I've been busy with other bits and bobs.
I heard there's like secret animals, right? There's like, are they golden or something?
Rare.
The shiny Pokemon. Yeah.
Okay. How are they shiny?
The black sheep.
Oh, okay. The black sheep is shiny. Okay.
Yeah. For example, so you've got your black sheep. You've got one of the dodos. It's got like a red breast on it. You've got the black chocobo. And they have like functional things in the game. Like if you have them in your pasture, then they molt the rare drop from that particular animal. Whereas they have a lesser chance of dropping normal things. So if you've got the black sheep, it won't drop the fleece, but it will drop something else instead. And it's vice versa for the normal white sheep. So it's like it's worth going and hunting all them Pokemon if you want some of the more rare materials, and then min max your island the meanest to get all the calories and stuff. So it's well worth checking out.
Chris was saying too, if you name the animal the same name as your full character name, the game client sees your full character name and replaces it with you. So if you name like your sheep your full character name, it'll say like you pet you.
Oh no!
But I think my favorite one so far is this tweet that Cass posted in our Final Fantasy channel. And if you go to it, it's someone who has named their animals, and I quote, "Did you know that the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV has a free trial and includes the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award-winning Heavensward expansion up to level 60 with no restrictions on playtime."
That is next level. That is beautiful.
So beautiful.
That is just beautiful. There's some effort gone into that. I like that. I like that a lot.
I think Fusion X from Aetherite Radio and Gamerscape is naming all of his animals Rook after Rook. Yep. He's been tweeting them out that he's just like they're all named Rookery or some form of
some variation.
Rook. Yeah.
Rook backwards.
I think all of them might just be named Rook.
Cool.
Except there was one. I'm trying to find the one that I saw.
I should probably do. We should probably do the like Team Whiskers as well at some point.
The Whiskers channel.
Is there a cat on my island? Because I can get one and name it Meowny.
Meowny. Love that.
Done. I'm actually really disappointed that when Fusion was naming all of them, he didn't name one of them Bird of Chess.
Yeah.
But it would have been a nice throwback.
Just poke him, suggest it.
Yeah. I don't know how many. I'm trying to find stuff.
Do this one.
Psst, I forgot.
Oh yeah, I have my sheep. My sheep is named Wooloo. I have another
Good
one
choice.
called George, and my little squirrel thing is called Lawrence. Just looked like a Lawrence.
Hang on. You were having a go at other people for normal people names there, and you've got one called Lawrence.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Susan has Flurf, Sherp, Murky, Squonk, Tree Rat, and Cronkle.
I like Squonk. Squonk's a good name.
Yeah.
Got the Squonk. I'm still trying to find.
So now I have a goal to get a chocobo and a black chocobo, so I can name one original recipe is the yellow chocobo and the black chocobo is extra crispy.
Oh, that's beautiful. Need more of that in my life. Need more of that in my life.
I said you need to find more of like the rare shiny versions, so you can actually figure out how to do fun names like that.
Plam's got one sheep called Rambo, and another one called Barbie.
Nice.
I like that. The sheep puns, the animal puns are just there for the taking.
They are. There's a lot of really good options.
Pingu, you can have back to Pingu with the island. Is it Apakalu or something?
Yeah.
Rookery, the rare monkey.
Oh, the monkey.
Rookery, the rare monkey. Let me grab the tweet.
Is there a rare monkey? What's the rare monkey? You got like a ringtail?
White monkey.
It's just white instead of brown.
I'm gonna name it Monkey D. Luffy. In honor of Yoshi P's love of One Piece.
There's also Rookery the Coblin, Rookery the Apkalu, and Rookery the Squirrel.
Amazing.
King Julian.
Yep.
So I don't want to spoil like the current part of the game, but the game that's yet to come out in 6.25. I do have a question. Like, what specifically for the Hildebrand / weapon storyline? What are your thoughts? How do you feel about it? What do you want from it?
Okay. Hildebrand weapons. First of all, I love Hildebrand. I have come across a number of people recently who don't, and I'm like, how can you not?
I saw a lot of people on Twitter.
Well, yeah. How dare you lock this relic, this optional content behind this optional content? Yeah, I've seen a lot of people hating on that. But honestly, I think Hildebrand is a very much needed part of storytelling within Final Fantasy XIV to start with. Before we even get to the relic stuff, like there is a lot of heavy content and a lot of heavy storylines throughout Final Fantasy XIV, and including Endwalker. Endwalker had a lot of existential crisis kind of stuff going on, and you need things that are light-hearted to be able to kind of escape to. I suppose that's where you have the Loprits and stuff like that. But then, you've got the optional content of Hildebrand. It's like, I'm going to chase this ridiculous, inspector who thinks he's the bee's knees, as he, gets pile drived into the earth by his dad, who apparently is one of the strongest men in the world. And I love it. That kind of level of slapstick comedy, I think, is amazing. In terms of the relics, I would love, the warrior's axe to just be a giant frying pan. From like his mother. The huge just like tong and like sound effects where they bonk and I don't know, like just more silliness. I think that'd be great. People would absolutely hate it, but I'd be all over that.
Like
now,
I would love to see the Monk's Fist just be like the statue of Godbert and the but it's just attached to two fists. You're just punching people with like golden statues of Godbert.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
One hope that I have for this is that Julian comes back.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
So honestly, like Hildebrand might be undying. Godbert may be a literal god, but we all know who runs that family.
Yes, it's clearly her. That's why the warrior needs the
Turn her
giant
frying pan.
Yeah, that's why they need the frying pan warrior. Like I would if that was the option. I'm a red mage main in game. Like anything that comes out, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna go for the red mage stuff first, and then I'll worry about other things. If that was the case, if I had to grind out one relic and the warrior got a giant frying pan, I would be on that one first. Like I don't even care. Red mage can get at the back of the queue for that one. I will.
My warrior's level like 30 something.
Yeah, they'd be like, no, grind it.
I listen. If it I don't even know what they would give Dark Knight. Like like a giant rolling pin. I don't know.
or a giant fork. I don't know. Like
I'll take it.
That'd be Dragoon, surely. Yeah.
Yeah, Dragoon would be a fork.
But yeah, we don't even know. I love the idea. They're probably not going to go as silly with it. I think it's more that it's the idea that they're going to have, the most renowned smith in what's his name? Oh, lol.
Yeah.
Like the most renowned smith, and I can't remember his name. I remember Rowena. What's his name?
Yeah.
That's the one. Working with Godbert on relics, because Geralt has done all this stuff in forging souls into weapons and getting the memories of ancient weapons and putting them into newer bodies and creating life for weapons. And then you've got Godbert, who's just like,
Godbert makes it pretty.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Having those two masterminds when it comes to the realm of crafting coming together to go and do that's quite exciting in its own way. Do I think we're gonna get like silly weapons? Probably not. I don't think they're gonna go that far. I think it's just the whole, you've got to have seen Godbert kind of thing. You got to know who he is and that kind of background. Which it might be.
The quest will be silly. The weapons, no, but the quest will.
Yeah, I think some of the quest kind of has to be at this point. Yeah.
Extra.
Yeah,
very extra.
And they're not giving us a crazy. Well, as far as we know, we don't know if they're giving us like a crazy zone to go play in. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's all going to be quest based. So now we got golden
saucer.
Can you listen? They're all people on Twitter were already mad. No. They're so already mad in making them go do gold saucer to get MGP to do stuff for the weapon. I'm just gonna make popcorn and go sit on Twitter for a day. I'll just be like, no, this is my Saturday. I'm just gonna sit here and read this all day because this is gonna be great.
Could you imagine the patch notes comes out and it goes, new items we added to the gold saucer. And then it's just like, oh no.
Burial sand.
Oh no.
Or Aether sand, sorry. Yeah.
You have to do like all the mini games and stuff to gather things for it.
No. You have to play Vermilion.
Oh my god. Oh.
you must come first in a Lords of Vermilion tournament 10 times.
Yeah.
no.
And there's people that dislike the jumping one too. They don't even like that. Like they can't do it. They have bad depth perception. Like they're just like, I don't want to do the. And they're like, oh my god, I can't imagine like the salt. Like the salt level's already about from it being Hildebrand, and you could skip the cutscenes. Like people were like, listen, you can literally plow through all of Hildebrand fairly quickly if you skip the cutscenes.
Yeah,
because a lot of it,
it
would. Yes, it would. But people are like, oh, we got a min-max and da-da-da, and I don't want to do Hildebrand. So dumb. I was like, all right, chief. Okay. All right. Well, you take your seriousness about like digital, like, representation of fake stick in game. And you go complain about it on the internet like a big boy. Okay.
Yep. Blam gets with that all the time. It's like, congratulations, you've made some pixels, change other pixels into different pixels. Congratulations. And I'm like, but my Saint of the Firmament title, I worked really hard for that. Yeah, but pixels though. All right, yeah, fair.
I did it.
Yeah, I did it. I did a thing.
I'm lost 3 months of my life for those pixels.
Yep. And it's gonna be the same for Hildy. And I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna like whatever happens, whatever comes out of that content, I'm gonna love it.
I am a little sad that we won't get something like Bozja again, because at least this round. I won't say we won't get that again in the future. I think Bozja was what they did with the previous relic. Yeah. But done right. Like they're like, hey, we understand people didn't like that long term like leveling process. So we tighten that up into like there's no leveling. You're just gaining ranks in an army, which makes it so much easier. And 2, the story was really good. Like just to even just do the story, like it was, and clearly like no spoilers, but maybe future MSQ stuff, like based on like where it was headed. And
it was tied in really well with the rest of the lore that was going on in the rest of the game. You're like, actually, this is really, really good. And it does pop up again outside of the instance of Bozja, which is really good. They'd obviously thought about it, and again at the same time, that's the devs and the team at Final Fantasy who are listening to the feedback of players. The Eureka was not great if you came to that party late. If you'd not been on all those hunt trains and stuff and couldn't grind the XP and do all that sort of stuff, it was kind of like shut off to you in that way because all of your friends are already like max level, and if you're going in at like level 1, it's like, I can't really play with these people anymore. That's bad times. But you still got the level progression, the gear progression. You got the relic out at the end, and Bozja was just good. And then adding in the bonus of those like savage level dungeons that people kind of craved and wanted that harder difficulty content. It's like, actually, this is content done right, and it is
done right. Really,
it's
right.
for everyone. I think you're right. We're probably not going to get like another Bozja again, but we are going to be getting like savage dungeons now instead. It's Bozja had the kind of like that expansion's Palace of the Dead or Heaven on High kind of deep dungeon vibe to it, so you could get XP on other jobs if you wanted to. And I don't know if that's going to be the case this time round with the Savage Dungeon stuff, but it is that kind of.
I thought they said they were going to do a deep dungeon this expansion.
I thought they would.
Not the Savage.
I mean, Chili might correct us if Chili's still here somewhere. Chili be like, they did.
Chili.
So, Plam in chat says, I hate Eureka for the reasons Switch said. They convinced me to go. And it's like, it's FF11, and we'll do it as a group. They people min-max that way too quickly to figure out like, but Bozja I think did it right. Like they took the idea of like, okay, people don't want 11. Like clearly people min-maxed whatever we gave them, and so we just threw it out the door and said, what if we just did like these like army, like these like, all right, you're on the front line and like it doesn't matter if you're in the group or not. Like it doesn't matter if you're in the group. You're like everybody's getting credit. Like everybody that tags it gets credit. It's not like, because you needed the group in Eureka like to even get like a semblance of credit for it. And or even like you can be solo in Bozja.
Close level.
But in Bozja that wasn't the case. Like you could fly solo. It was better in a group. Like you could like, so if like one person was farming stuff together, it was just faster. Like you all benefited from the group content, but it wasn't needed. Like it wasn't as forced as it was in Eureka. So and then Susan nailed it on the head. Like you could just do the story for Bozja, and I think if people just went in there and just did the story, like you won't feel the grind as bad as for the weapons, and I think you'll still get something from it. And I think what you'll get at the very end of it is a nod to maybe somewhere we'll go in the future of the game series that I think some people don't think about. Like I think that what I feel is bad is that I don't know how they'll ever get people to go into Bosta to get that little piece of like content that like I don't know how they'll ever, unless they go out and say, oh well, you can queue just for these now, just for like these, just for story purposes, like they're doing some other stuff. Like because you can't force people to go into Bosta, but maybe you can like take the raids and stuff. You could,
So, We've seen that already with Crystal Tower.
I mean, but if you force people to go into Bosta for MSQ, like just to get a nugget of story, I mean, you're right, they could like,
oh
man, that's gonna be tough because, again, no spoilers, but how that ended leaves it very much open for what is happening because I don't want to say, but again, it's just like that clearly is going to come up in the future. Where's this going to come up? And is it going to be, if it's side content, then it doesn't matter, then nobody's going to care. But to me, it was good enough to be like, this could be future MSQ, clearly future MSQ.
Yeah. The level of writing, like throughout Final Fantasy's kind of evolution through all the expansions, has just been incredible. And Bosda is another example of just incredible writing and incredible storytelling. Obviously, everyone raves about the Dark Knight kind of story quests and stuff like that, but there are so many different facets to the stories that are so well interwoven, and you can always be like, I kind of want more of that. Like, I'd love to hear more of that in the future. And then you kind of like, whenever you're going through MSQ or side story stuff, and you kind of just finding those little nuggets that kind of relate back. That, there's an NPC in Charlayan that runs a little quest that's to do with a character from Realm Reborn that vanished somewhere around Stormblood. And there's just little like callbacks to those sort of things. And if you've been through all those stories and you've been through those cutscenes and you've experienced all the story, it's like that's that little reward for you. It's like, hey, do you remember this thing that happened like maybe 3 expansions ago that you remember because it was a turning point? Like, here's a little nugget, here's a little callback. And it's like, I like finding those things. They're cool.
My favorite are the children in Mordona.
Oh, yeah, they're cool.
With the Doma callback.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Just lots of little nice things like that.
Yeah, I'll be thrilled if I ever see that callback to Bozo. But there it is. Finally paid off.
I think that's probably the failure that they had with Eureka and Boja too, and Diadem. If we really want to go back to the roots of this, is that you have
1.0.
These really interesting. Well, don't even like post 1.0 Diadem, like Diadem as it stands today. Like, they're interesting concepts and ideas to do with these games, but there isn't enough staying power, I guess. So it's very active while it is current content, but as soon as it is no longer current content, it is a ghost town. And there is almost no chance that someone could come into the game today and complete Eureka unless they had a full dedicated group that was going to do it, and it would be slow. Boja's a little bit different right now. You can still, I think, go in there. It's going to be a lot harder than when it first came out, but it's still reasonable for now. Diadem's also a ghost town unless you're a gatherer.
I think where Bozja, they made a change with Bozja, is that it's also that expansion's deep dungeon, so that's where you go to level the fastest.
It is, but it isn't, because a deep dungeon it can be played from level 1. Right? Whereas Bozja, you have to be level 70.
Do you have, well, no, because Deep Dungeon can go 1 through 60, right? And then the next one is from 60 to whatever.
But your character can be level 1 and go to either of the Deep Dungeons.
Can
that's
it?
true.
Yes.
Can you be level? All right, so can you be level 1 to go enter right into Bozja though? Because it's level.
Bozja, you have to be level 70. Because Bozja is still tied to your external level. The Deep Dungeons are, that's where they differ.
Okay.
So like Bozja's a good thing if you want to level from 70 to 80, but if you're not 70 already, you have to go do other content anyway.
That's a bummer. Well, I mean, get to 70 though. 70 to 80 is not bad. You can go to
the 10 level gap isn't too bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, because it's still pretty good. I thought it was 61 plus.
I think
Yeah,
you can still
Chili's-
go in at a
I
lower
think Chili's
level.
right. I think
I think
HOH
Chili's
is
right, yeah.
61 plus. They did it on purpose. So you do the first one 1 to 60, 61 plus for
Yeah.
the next one, and then 70,
And then 70,
onward for
yeah.
Bozja. That way
Yeah.
they're still like, oh, you're moving through the stuff, and there's still people queuing for
Yeah.
these things, and you
Yeah,
can level and.
There aren't.
Wow.
Oh, that was gonna be my next question for like Switch and Quinton, you can chime in too. I mean, do you feel people are coming back? Because I see still a lot of people on Twitter that are like, they're kind of lost a little bit. They're like, the story ended, and they're just like, what? I have nothing connecting me right now to the game because the big thing ended. So
yeah, no, I can't say that I've seen anything particular like that.
I have a little bit on Twitter. I see some like people are like coming back to try like, but like MSQ stuff, people are like, like I'll come back for Island Sanctuary. Yeah, like,
we had the big crescendo. We had the end of the Highland Zodiac arc that was kind of teased in Shadowbringers and stuff, and all that amazing storytelling and stuff. And yeah, maybe people have gone away for a bit and decided, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to take a break from this game and do that. But that again falls into the model that Yoshi P has talked about loads before. It's like you don't have to play this game, month in, month out. If you don't want to play it, go and play other games. Don't get burnt out and don't ruin the game for you. And I think that I've had people in my free company and stuff who have taken month-long breaks and stuff from the game and come back and go, no, I've come to check out what's new, and they come back and like, oh, this is cool content, I'm enjoying this, and maybe we'll see more of that with the longer patch cycles as well, because it's gone from 3 months to 4 months now between major patches, so we might see more of that. But on the flip side, look at what they've released for 6.2. They've had a longer development cycle for it, and look how much stuff was in it. Like it feels the game feels incredibly fresh at the minute for some reason, and I think it's because they've had the time to put all the bells and whistles on. They've put the extra polish on. There are new kind of game modes with Island Sanctuary that are coming along and doing different things. Got the Savage Dungeons coming up that are there's plenty of new content out there,
which I'm excited for.
Yeah, I am. I think the acronym is slightly unfortunate for the new Savage Dungeons, sadly.
What's the acronym for it? Have I not paid attention?
Isn't it Azajal's Subterranean Savage?
It's ass. Oh my god! I can't wait.
Yeah, or it's something like that. I can't remember the exact thing, but dude,
I can't wait to run ass.
So many ass jokes.
Yeah. What do you?
Honestly, there was less ubu jukes than I expected from.
Yeah, there was.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Man, ass hard mode.
I was waiting for people to ask about it in chat and forget to get censored.
Yeah, that's true. Someone gets replied to GM. It's like, someone shouted about ass in Uldar. Like,
there's so much ass talk in this game now.
To be fair, no, there's always.
And the bunnies came out.
Usually, it's restricted more to private channels.
That's true. Yeah, now it's different.
Yeah.
Do you want to run the Savage Dungeons? You gotta go to the.
All right, everybody.
I was gonna say Waking Sands, but no, it's not Waking Sands. It's,
you're go look at the party finder, like
Quicksand.
Please, looking for party for ass.
Wait, is this one of the role play things, or is this not? Like,
you gotta see what section you're under. Like, wait a minute.
Wait, I mean the dungeon section or the other section? Like, is this a nightclub thing, or is this an actual party finder for a group? Yeah,
that sounds like a whole new podcast or like game show segment. Nightclub or raid group.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a fun game. Oh my god. Susan, jot that down.
Yeah, there you go. Ideas,
I mean, you just call it like, what type of dungeon is this?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Ass play or ass play.
Oh
dear. Oh, no,
what did I queue for? The game where you find out if it's ass play or ass play.
I mean, in both situations, you ask yourself, "What did I just sign up for?" So.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I know I've asked this question a couple times. Quentin and I have talked about it on the show before, but like, what do you think the Because like you know when you say, oh, there's this content's gonna be hard, it's gonna be savage and or a form of hard content. What do you think the carrot on the stick is going to be for these dungeons, like for people to want to run them, and what should it be? Because there has to be something, right? Like there has to be something that people are going to want out of it. Do you think it should be gear? Do you think it should just be a mount?
I think like people enjoy mounts and minions and those kind of rewards. It's the in-game bragging rights for something. And you know, every patch that comes out, you've got the new exactly. Well, everyone wants the pretty pixels. You know, every patch that comes out and they add something to the treasure maps thing, for example, there's a new HQ material, and that's, you know, if you can get lucky and get like 3 of those, you've got an entirely new set of gear that's really good, and people are going to want that for a while. I don't know. I don't think that the Savage dungeons should necessarily have like statted gear, maybe. Because that might take away from like the 8-man raid stuff. You know, it'd have to be, if you were going to get gear that was like, for example, the tokens that you get from Savage currently to get the items or the books, for example, then the content would have to be comparably difficult. And I don't know if that would, you know, for that sense of fairness, because, you know, if you find that one is you know, talking about like P7 or P8 or whatever, you know, and going, oh my god, this is so difficult, and smashing your head against the wall for weeks, and then the Savage Dungeon comes out and it's like, actually this is much easier, and then just completely divert off that, because they could get the same rewards for the, do you know what I mean? I'm not sure. I think
and then Chili in chat says, considering they recommend full Savage gear for it, I could actually see Savage tier stuff. And I think but I also think that may be going against what the nature of it is, right? Like, I think if you're like, hey, people wanted hard 4-man content, right? Because you're like, I don't want to sit in a group to go invade people to go do 4-man hard move content. And I think that might be the bad way of thinking about it. If they've made that choice to say, oh, this is really hard, but you need to go do Savage first to do 4-man content, then no one's going to do it.
No.
Right? Yeah. Like the only people that are going to go do it are doing your hardest stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think they could say, like, they recommend the same gear that you would do Savage in, right? You do P1S, you don't have Savage gear, so you have to get your full pentamelded crafting gear, and that's the gear you go into P1S. You probably have to have a similar level to go into those entry-level Savage dungeons. And honestly, if they're the same level of challenge as the Savage raids that we have now, we probably should be getting similar loot rewards. Like, I don't think most Savage raiders complete the Savage content in order to get the loot. I think the loot is secondary. They get the loot so they can complete the content, but really they want the accomplishment of they've cleared the fight. And getting the loot, farming the loot, allows you to more reliably clear that fight, or faster clears of that fight, and complete the next tier of fights, whether that is Ultimate or the next Savage series. Like,
get a mount, which
that's why people want to do it. So if you get the same amount of loot in both, like, it could be another alternative way. Like, maybe your raid team splits into 2 teams, runs through the Savage dungeons, which gets you a little bit more gear, which lets you challenge the Savage raids a little bit easier.
That's an interesting take. I think I'd also like as well, from if it's going to be comparable rewards, I think I'd really like to have gear that isn't always spell speed on casters.
Maybe it's an alternate.
Every single tier, every single set of gear that comes out, and it's just like the Savage gear is better, or whatever, and it's just like, well, I'm a red mage and it's got spell speed on it. Again.
The red mages, they always cast so slow.
Chili again in chat says, remember, it would be several months before this drops, so most folk who rush to clear for loot will be done with the grind or close. That's true, but again, like, I think it's missing the point, right? Like, the point is, like, we want people to go run this 4-man content. There's a lot of people, Chili, that are wanting 4-man hard man. Like I remember for a long time, people were like, man, I wish. I can even tell you there are people that play WoW that would want some form of like mythic dungeons in this game, which this is, because they want the 4-man content, right? And so that's why there's 3 versions. But if the 3 versions give you gear to level up to the next version, that's great. Like if it says like, hey, you're gonna do this version of it, and it gives you an item that gives you to the hard mode and the hard mode to the savage, it should be its own tiered content. And if that content can help you get into savage raiding, that's even better, right? Like it could be like a gear catch up for it's a gateway. Like, but it shouldn't be the barrier for entry. Like your barrier for entry shouldn't be 8-man hard mode. It should be the other way around. Like, oh, hey, you really like 4-man content? Maybe get 4 more friends and try savage.
But I still don't think that should be necessarily a gateway. I think they should be like at the same level, right? It's the same difficulty.
Definitely a two-way thing.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing that's difficult, honestly, or the only thing that should be different between the two of them is the difficulty of getting 8 people to show up at the same time consecutively for multiple weeks. Which anyone who has ever raided before knows how hard that is. Like coming from other games, like my first MMO that I played seriously was EverQuest 2, and I raided in that game, and I raid led in that game. And raids in that game were 24 people. So you had to find 24 people to constantly show up. And we raided 3 times a week for 3 hours a day. And we were casual. So we would do this. Trying to find those people to keep doing it is very, very hard. You'd always have to swap out people. And then eventually they came out with the 12-person raids. And finding 12 people to go through was significantly easier because we could just be like, hey, we don't have 24 people. Let's go do a 12-person thing. And WoW did the same thing. They had their 25-person raids. They had their 20-person raids. They had their 10-person raids. And then they just kind of went variable with however many people are in your raid. Just screw it. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, just go for it. Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing that they're doing here, too, is that, like, really, it's not necessarily... The hard part about Savage is not necessarily the actual doing the Savage content. It is finding the people to do the Savage content with you at the same time. So reducing that barrier to entry, we could take 4 people that all really, really wanted to do Savage, and now they have that option to do that. And the fights are just as hard. You just don't have to put up with finding 4 other people to do it with you now.
Yeah, definitely. I was excited at the 4-man Savage stuff when we had the dungeon in the last patch, because of the dungeon is very reminiscent of the undersea ruins in FF11, which I'm a massive fan of, as you could tell. I was like, are they going to do the FF 14 version of this, because it was like procedurally generated. It was challenges to it. There was puzzles to it. I remember going through that as it was 6-man content because the parties were 6. A small party or a full party was 6, and it was tiered, so it was kind of it kind of had that like deep dungeon kind of esque thing to it with a boss every like 10 levels, but a little bit more kind of challenging in that way. Like there might be certain monsters you have to kill in certain order, or switches you've got to flip in different rooms, and you've got to communicate with each other. And I was like, oh, I think is this the direction they're going in? What Deep Dungeon or has been, weirdly.
It needs the puzzles, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this could be the Nazuli Owl, that was it. It's the Savage. Is the Savage content going to be kind of that sort of answer? Is it going to be? Is that going to scratch that itch? I kind of hope so. I'm excited to see where that goes, and interesting times. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of promise for things that are coming up. Right, there's a lot of ideas that they've kind of hinted towards, or they've kind of thought about, or they've been playing with. Like, we know that Deep Dungeon, like they've iterated on Deep Dungeon, they've gotten better at making those, especially between Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High. But then we also have things like Diadem, which grew into Eureka, which grew into Bozja. And that was a much better improvement over time. So like we're now seeing this with they had like the raids have improved, like the 24-person raids have been improving over time.
Yes.
We're now seeing this kind of with the dungeons now. So it's very interesting to see how they're going to put this progression through. Oh, and maps. Maps have improved significantly since the first maps we've had.
Maps are great fun. That is just get a bunch of people in Discord and have a giggle. Like that's usually our like my Monday stream. I usually go on with the free company, and it just turns into a full giggle pit. The meanest. It's so much fun just to do it. And then you got the I like the roulette one. I think a little bit better than the doors, because the doors are stressful. I mean, you have to go
Susan
left
would
every
agree
time.
with
That's
you.
the law.
Susan would agree.
That is the law. You got to go left every time, and it works. Like 50% of the time, it works every time.
Every time.
Accurate.
I do have a video actually of me getting every left door and getting to the end as well. So it does work. I don't know what the chances of that actually happening are, but they're probably
Survivorship bias.
But yeah, I love running those groups. The maps are so much fun, and it's everything just like I said, the devs are very, very clever at seeing what works and then evolving and developing it further. Like you say, Diadem, the first iteration of the Diadem was okay. I remember having to you needed to have an airship. You needed to have a free company or access to a free company that had a workshop that had built an airship, and you had to have an airship that would then transport you to the Diadem as a group. And then because it was, I think they were trying to make it a little bit like Dynamis back from 11, where the first chunk of time in there is you getting the ability to fly around the zone. So you had to basically find points to kind of do things and then go off and do your adventure. And then they're like, yeah, that doesn't work because we've got a housing problem and not everyone has access to a company workshop or an airship. So we'll take that down. We'll put it up again where anyone can go. And then there was this weird kind of upper floor, lower floor section to it. And you had to kind of do certain points around the map to then give you access to the lower floor stuff that let you in a dungeon to fight a boss. It's yeah, that's a bit convoluted. We'll take that down again. And then nah, do you know what? Let's just give it to the crafters and gatherers. Let's just take your pickaxe. Here's a bazooka. There's a bazooka. Do you want a bazooka? Yeah, that's cool. You just fire that bazooka at that, that tree. Get some materials off that. It's
It works, right?
It works, but it works now. Definitely for leveling crafters and gatherers.
Right.
I think that's definitely a good thing. You can speed through that in a couple of hours and level your crafters up. It's a lot more accessible to more people now, which is good. Access is just dull. Says Plam. I mean, yeah, it's
gathering though.
It's I get that. But I did it when it was current, so I can't really comment.
I don't know. When that dungeon popped in the center of Diadem, it was fun. It was just like everything else in Diadem was boring, but all of a sudden, when that dungeon popped in the center, you're just let's go. It's just like the hit of adrenaline you needed in there. Let's go. And you're like, I'm gonna get a weapon. I'm gonna get a weapon. I'm gonna get a piece of gear. It's gonna go. And it's gonna go. Oh, it's for a class I don't play. and the stats suck.
That's only because you play one class.
I like that class. I like that.
He plays Dark Knight.
I like Dark Knight.
Nothing wrong with Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's it though.
That's it. I mean, yeah, that's fine.
That's okay. I mean, if I was gonna play another class, it'd probably be Warrior, and I'd still be a tank, so it doesn't matter.
And then you get your frying pan, and then the world's everything's right with the world. Yeah.
Got a frying pan, and then I get a rolling pin, and then I make myself a little breakfast.
So, Peter, what happens if the class that gets the frying pan and the rolling pin is the paladin?
Then everybody else would just be booing them.
Wait, wasn't there a weapon design competition recently where that actually happened? Did they not do a fork and a spoon or something?
That's why they needed it for this.
Yeah, that's where the designs have gone now.
They're all
Hildebrand relics.
There we go.
Relics. Yeah.
Well, Switch, we spent this whole time talking about games and not talking about you, which means
that's fine.
Will you come back so we can talk to you more?
I would love to come back and talk more about stuff.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right. Well, then Susan will one day crawl into the DMs and be like, psst, come back.
I'll come back and do the things. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Cool. Perfect. Well, with that, can you let everybody know where they can find you on all the places?
On all the places, yes. So first of all, there is my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Switch2501. That's where I do the majority of my streaming. It can also be found on the Twitter with the same handle, Switch2501, and on YouTube. However, because the YouTube channel is very small, the link for it looks like you've rolled your face across the keyboard. But if you search for Plam and Switch on Twitch, then you will find our YouTube channel, which we're putting out content which is a bit machinima kind of stuff. Clips, skits, Plam guides, which are hilarious. If you ever want to know how to play Black Mage in the style of Best Wife Plam, or Plamurai as well, then there's some amazing guides on there. Go and check those out. And we're starting a new series on the Eorzean news, where we we give news stories from around Eorzea. The recent one about the Moonfire Fair was out recently, and there'll be another one coming out tomorrow to do with some mysterious disappearances around Eorzea. So yeah, go and check that out. That's coming out tomorrow.
Oh, everybody's
kidnapping people for the cult.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Many. Yes. All of the cults. That's where they're going. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out tomorrow.
All right. So our September podcast recordings will be Friday, September 2nd, with returning guests, the Warriors of Lust, and Saturday, September 24th. We're inching ever closer to 666 Twitch followers, and when we get there, me, Peter, that's me, we'll stream a full Hades run, no matter how long it takes. Then, when we reach 777 Twitch followers, Peter, Quinton, and Susan, so myself, Quinton here, and Susan, will stream together in Kigurumis. We made it through pretty much. We're ending out of the hot seasons, and we're going right into the cool seasons. So if it happens during the cool months, perfect. Because Kigurumis during the summer, not great. We would have done it. We would have done it.
Would you though?
We would have. Yeah, we said we would. So it would have been hot, but we would have. It's gonna be hot either way. Wink. No, do people find people sexy in Kigurumi? Probably. I don't know. Yeah, everybody finds everybody sexy in some sort of way.
Yeah, probably. It's fine.
Roll 30 for it.
Yeah, Maelstrom Radio like Maelstrom Radio is just Rule 34 come to life.
Fair.
No.
No.
Warriors of Lust, maybe.
Oh, okay. Fair. Yeah. So if you're not already following and you're here right now and you hear the sound of my voice, please click the follow button. It's completely free.
Follow that. Great.
Yeah. Yes. We're so close. Get us towards that finish line. So thank you. And again, thank you, Switch, for hanging out with us. We have to have you back on, talk to you more about frying pans and geese.
I would love to come back. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And as always, as we say here, till sea swallows all. Keep listening.
Join us live Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Maelstrom Radio. Send email to show@maelstromradio.com, tweet us at maelstrom_radio, or join our Discord at maelstromradio.com/discord. Views and opinions expressed by our hosts and guests do not reflect the views and opinions of any companies discussed on today's show.